Is Starbucks, the legendary coffee brand, on the edge of losing its shine? For decades, Starbucks was the heart of coffee culture, a place where people could enjoy premium coffee, ease up, and find a third place between home and work. Yet, the past few years have brought unexpected and uncertain changes. Starbucks has reported its biggest revenue drop in 15 years, and it's struggling to maintain its place with rising costs, intense competition, and customers looking for cheaper options. With a numerous collection of CEOs in just 2 decades, complicated menu changes, and competition from local cafes worldwide, Starbucks stands at a turning point. Let's dive into the tough challenges facing this once unshakable coffee empire and explore what it might take to revive its iconic brand before it's too late. The sharp revenue drop, a wake-up call for Starbucks. Starbucks recently posted its most significant revenue decline in over a decade, with quarterly store sales falling by 7% globally and a 6% dip in US sales. Notably, this slump goes beyond basic inflationary pressures. As consumers battle with rising living costs, the premium prices at Starbucks are increasingly out of reach, pushing people toward more affordable alternatives. While Starbucks once stood out for its premium experience, high prices are now displeasing former loyal customers. Further complicating this issue is the broader economic environment, where consumers are cautious about free choice spending. Starbucks' current pricing strategy, therefore, needs a revision, particularly as it competes with a growing number of budget-friendly coffee shops that offer similar quality at a fraction of the price. Finding a balance between upholding a premium image and satisfying budget-conscious clients is currently the company's biggest challenge. Perhaps a 2-level structure pricing model, one that offers accessible options without weakening its core brand, could help Starbucks regain some of its former traction. From bean retailer to coffee empire, a brief look at Starbucks' origins. Founded in 1971 as a Seattle-based coffee bean wholesaler, Starbucks was initially focused solely on selling high-quality beans and equipment. It wasn't until the early 1980s, when Howard Schultz joined the team, that Starbucks' identity began to transform into what we know today. A cafe where people gather not just for coffee, but for a unique cultural experience. Schultz's vision was simple but effective, creating a third place between work and home. By the time Starbucks expanded globally, it had successfully incorporated this feeling of community into its brand DNA. However, as Starbucks' empire grew to over 38,000 stores, this community-focused approach started to fade. In new markets like China, Starbucks initially thrived by introducing a high-end coffee culture. Yet, as competition from local brands intensified, Starbucks struggled to connect with local tastes and price expectations, leading to declining interest from customers. Today, competitors like Luckin Coffee capitalize on a deep understanding of local preferences, highlighting how crucial cultural adaptation is for Starbucks' survival in foreign markets. Leadership chaos, a recipe for strategic confusion. Starbucks has cycled through 5 CEOs in less than 20 years, with each leader leaving their own mark, often inconsistently, on the company. After Schultz stepped down in 2000, he returned twice in attempts to guide the brand back to its roots. While Schultz's influence helped define Starbucks' expansion years, the frequent leadership changes have since introduced a lack of consistency, impacting both internal morale and customer trust. In 2022, Schultz returned as interim CEO, attempting to stabilize the brand during tense times before handing over the reins again in 2023. Each leadership change has come with shifts in strategy, from Schultz's community-first focus to later CEOs emphasizing digital expansion and operational efficiency. These rapid changes can create confusion and diminish the brand's identity. In the end, Starbucks' brand strength depends on a clear, consistent vision that connects both employees and customers the same. To regain customer loyalty and establish stability, Starbucks will need a leader committed to a long-term strategy, someone who can focus not just on financial performance, but on the cultural fundamentals that made Starbucks unique in the first place. The mobile shift, convenience at the cost of experience. Starbucks has invested heavily in digital technology, becoming a leader in mobile ordering and app-based services. While these tools undoubtedly add convenience, they've fundamentally altered the Starbucks experience. Customers now frequently order ahead or use drive-thrus, navigating around the in-store ambiance that once defined the brand. The once warm, inviting cafe environment has shifted toward a more transactional model, diminishing the social aspect of the Starbucks experience. Furthermore, the complicated customization options offered through the app have introduced additional complexity, sometimes overwhelming baristas and increasing wait times. For example, customers can choose between a wide variety of milk options, syrup flavors, and temperature preferences, leading to potential delays and order confusion. This trend not only impacts in-store efficiency, but also drifts away from Schultz's original vision of a community space where people can enjoy quality coffee in a relaxing setting. If Starbucks is to recapture its unique appeal, it may need to revise its approach, reintroducing elements that encourage people to stay and connect, perhaps by offering designated seating areas for on-site enjoyment or prioritizing simple core menu items. Growing competition and consumer pushback. Starbucks is facing tough competition from local and international brands that meet the changing needs of customers' tastes and provide value alternatives. In China, Starbucks once held a solid competitive edge, but now, homegrown competitors like Luckin Coffee have started to dominate, providing customers with cost-effective and culturally relevant options. Beyond competition, Starbucks is also faced with occasional boycotts linked to labor disputes and controversies. In the US, the company has seen growing demands for unionization, with workers organizing to secure better wages and working conditions. This union activity has generated a mixed public reaction, as some customers view Starbucks' resistance to union demands as in conflict with its stated values of fairness and respect. Additionally, consumers are more socially conscious than ever, favoring brands that prioritize ethical labor practices. Starbucks' resistance to unions could risk displeasing a significant portion of its customer base if it doesn't align its labor practices with the progressive values that it promotes. Addressing these concerns and adopting a more proactive, welcoming approach could improve Starbucks' public image and encourage a loyal customer base. The burden of real estate costs. One of Starbucks' biggest operational challenges is its expensive real estate portfolio. With stores strategically located in premium areas, Starbucks bears significant fixed costs, even as foot traffic declines in many locations. As the coffee giant struggles to justify these high rents in between decreasing in-store sales, its operational flexibility is extremely limited. In the past, these prime locations helped build Starbucks' upscale image and were seen as valuable marketing assets. Today, with consumers increasingly choosing drive-thrus and mobile ordering, the value of high-traffic urban stores has diminished. If Starbucks doesn't re-evaluate its real estate strategy, these expenses could continue to weigh down its recovery efforts. One potential approach could involve repurposing these high-rent spaces to focus on community events or educational coffee tastings, transforming underutilized real estate into experiential spaces that add value beyond transactions. Alternatively, Starbucks could experiment with smaller kiosk-style stores in regions where rent costs are particularly expensive. The potential return of Howard Schultz. Is it time for a new visionary? Surrounded by these challenges, some wonder whether Starbucks might once again turn to Howard Schultz, its most iconic leader, for guidance. Schultz has a legendary past with Starbucks, having helped the brand grow from a single Seattle store into a global powerhouse. Known for his visionary leadership, Schultz twice returned to Starbucks in times of crisis, implementing strategies that helped revive the brand. His third return in 2022, however, was brief and may not have been sufficient to address the complex issues the company now faces. Schultz's approach, which focused on quality and community, could offer Starbucks a model for handling its current challenges. However, the brand now requires more than just a revival of old strategies. It needs fresh, innovative thinking to engage younger generations and keep up with the market. As such, the question of leadership goes beyond nostalgia. Starbucks needs a bold, future-focused leader who can honor Schultz's legacy while plotting a new course. The decline of Starbucks is a complicated story, interconnected by changes in consumer preferences, increased competition, and the challenges of adapting to global markets. Once known as a cultural hub and a place of relief, Starbucks now seems to be struggling with its own identity. The road to recovery will not be easy, but it's not impossible. By revisiting its core values, simplifying its in-store experience, and reconsidering its pricing strategy, Starbucks can still reclaim its place as a beloved brand. In the end, Starbucks' future depends on whether it can recapture the magic that made it more than just a coffee shop. It's a journey that will require innovative leadership, a willingness to adapt, and above all, a commitment to the customers and employees who have supported it through the years. Only by reconnecting with these roots can Starbucks hope to rise above its current challenges and redefine itself in an increasingly competitive market.